One Piece, Chapter 1, 1130 is out officially, and fans are thoroughly blown away by what can be described to be one of the best chapters in the entire series. This week's chapter was absolutely stunning from start to finish, as the Straw Hat Pirates finally explored the real Elbaf. Quite a lot of interesting things, such as the lore about Elbaf and its former king, were revealed in this chapter. And at the same time, the character that we were anticipating to see the most in this arc, Loki, made his appearance as well. Finally, things are underway in this arc of majestic proportions. In One Piece, Chapter 1130, we saw that the Straw Hat Pirates finally break out of Rod's prison. As we saw in the previous chapter, Luffy did not waste even a single second to break out of the detention center, and now the crew found themselves in the real Elbaf. In this land, we got to see a giant castle, which, as was said previously, was actually a giant detention center. Along the giant castle was a massive bridge that connected to a level on top. It appears that Elbaf is leveled, and of course more about this was revealed later down the line, when the full design of this place was revealed by Oda. While Elbaf looks huge, fans only got to see the crew traverse through the snowy region and then attempt to climb the bridge that connects to a higher level. Before that, two members of the new giant warrior pirates, whom the fans have seen previously in the story, known as Gerd, the doctor, and of course Goldberg, the cook, were revealed to the fans as well. Both of them seem to be much better in terms of nature when compared to Rod, although they do have a job, and that is to capture any and all intruders. That is precisely why the Straw Hat Pirates decided to hide from them, and as soon as they passed, they decided to climb the bridge and go higher. We got to see quite a lot of the geography of Elbaf while all this was happening. Amid the giant rope bridge and the massive castle that fans got to see, there were absolutely giant wolves across the forest. It was around this time that Luffy felt the presence of an unusually strong individual, although at this point it was unknown who this person truly was. Luffy and Zoro were both ready to explore this source of energy. But of course, Sanji, being a capable leader, stepped in and stopped Zoro from doing just that. Sanji's reasoning behind this was that he would simply end up getting lost. This was completely justified, and at the same time it also works as an interesting plot device, as it sets up Luffy alone with this source of power, and at the same time puts Sanji and Zoro at the lead of the remaining part of the crew. Now, both of them are headed in different directions, although Luffy promised to meet them across the other end of the bridge. It will be interesting to see if that does end up happening, because Luffy has certainly run into an incredibly intriguing individual. Meanwhile, we also got to see the other half of the Straw Hat Pirates in One Piece, Chapter 1130. The other half of the Straw Hat Pirates is already in Elbaf, and this is simply because they have not found any clue about the missing members. Knowing that Luffy and the others are capable, they decided to go to Elbaf and wait for them there. While heading to the land of Elbaf itself, we saw quite an interesting bit of information being revealed about the country. It was revealed to all of us that Elbaf has been somewhat tumultuous over the course of the last few years. This was largely due to an individual known as the Accursed Prince. This individual, ever since he was born, continued to commit all sorts of crimes and, at the same time, cause issues wherever he went. His reputation was already incredibly bad. If that wasn't enough, he then decided to kill his own father, the king, and following that, consume a legendary devil fruit passed down the royal family. This legendary devil fruit was not revealed to the fans, but it is only a matter of time before it comes into play. The Accursed Prince was then chained in Elbaf, and this was a task that required the strength of every single warrior on the island. This shouldn't be underestimated, because the giants are the strongest race in the entire world, and the fact that it required every single one of them to actually capture the Accursed Prince goes to show how strong he truly is. The giants believe that if the Accursed Prince is cut loose, he will most definitely cause the destruction of the world. Finally, in One Piece Chapter 1130, it was revealed to all of us that the Accursed Prince was none other than Prince Loki, who was introduced in the whole Cake Island arc. The person who Luffy sensed while going up the bridge was also Loki, and in the final few pages, we got a glorious look at this individual. Loki seems to be a mixture of Doflamingo, Katakuri, and Kaido, design-wise. He appears to be quite a delinquent and, at the same time, loves chaos. Loki believes himself to be the sun god and the one who will destroy this world. Meanwhile, Luffy seems to be quite intrigued by him, but, as things stand, he is not on his guard, which suggests that Luffy might not necessarily see him as an enemy, at least right now. But the fact that both Luffy and Loki are the sun gods certainly does set up a confrontation between them, at least for now. While their relationship might be hostile at the beginning, it will likely be more friendly later down the line in Elbaf, and that is something that we should keep an eye out for. Loki certainly took away all the shine in the chapter, but we also got to see the entire design of Elbaf, and it is safe to say that this country looks absolutely mesmerizing. Amid all the mountains, there is an absolutely massive tree, which fans know to be Yggdrasil. And along the midway of the tree, there is another level where the giant castle and the road bridge exist. This all connects to the level on the very top, which we don't know much about at this point in time. Clearly, this is based on the concept similar to the Niflheim, the Midgard, and the Asgard from Norse mythology. Oda is always looking to incorporate similar ideas into Elbaf, and fans absolutely cannot wait to see what comes next.